Hey, it's Garrett,
It's Andrea.
and welcome to the Daily Devotional.
Yeah. Okay. If you had an exuberant amount of money,
Exuberant,
like meaning so much that you wouldn't go broke.
like unlimited resources.
Yes, that's what I mean. What, where, anything, what would you do with it?
Okay, so the first thing is because we've been talking about like going on a cruise, but it wouldn't just be like leaving from Galveston or something like that. It wouldn't be like the Greek island cruises and stuff that we'd really want to do that we would just no way be able to afford now. But it'd be something like that. But then the more you think about it, you said exuberant amount of money. So it's like, well, you wouldn't want to just go on the cruise. You could probably own the cruise ship.
That'd be fun.
Okay. But then you wouldn't want to always be in the ocean. You want the option to go there. But when you were there, people to take care of you. But you would need a jet to get back and forth or unlimited like flight.
A
like,
jet. Pastor with a jet.
Yeah, I know.
That's
Like,
good.
like,
And a cruise ship.
yeah, and a cruise
That's
ship.
good.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm not a pastor for the moment. We're
Okay,
talking
okay.
about like non-tithe money.
Okay. So let's pretend you are a world famous juggler.
Okay. A world famous juggler money. And so,
Yes.
that's probably jet money. I would say so. So, but you would want that. But then because you don't always be in the ocean, when you would live, you want like a Michael Jordan mansion. Like you want
Okay.
the basketball,
know.
like you want the full size gym.
Hmm.
You want everything, the workout facility. Then you want everything, the tennis courts, the outdoor courts, a football field, like all of that
Would
stuff.
you want a fridge stocked all the time with Gatorade?
Yeah, Gatorade. And in this world, I would be able to pay enough money to not be diabetic, and I would drink all the Mountain Dew I wanted.
Wow.
Yeah,
Then you'd be diabetic again and have to pay somebody to not make you diabetic again.
yeah, exactly.
Okay. So it's like a whole cycle.
An entirely unhealthy
Exuberant,
cycle.
Exuberant amount of money.
Yeah, an exuberant amount of money, and we could just keep going and going. And of course, on my family, my girls would always have anything they ever wanted.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay.
Thank you. So, but for real, here's like the Debbie Downer to all this.
Okay.
Okay, for real.
All right. For real.
Do you see why, if you had an exuberant amount of money, and this is for myself too,
Mm-hmm.
how it would be hard to have time for spiritual things?
I mean, you're right. I didn't know you were going with this, but no, you're right, because you would be all consumed with what you would do with it.
Mm-hmm.
And like I just spouted off like a million things already.
Yeah.
And you would always be consumed with the next thing because it wouldn't be enough.
Right.
So I don't know. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel the same way too.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I had all the money in the world I could do whatever I wanted, like I don't know, because I know where we're going with this scripture, but if we really think about it, being a Christian does take you bowing a knee.
Mm-hmm.
Not to get all serious, but for real, it does take you bowing a knee to those things and saying, you know what, like I got it's.
Yeah. No, you're right. Like we've had to make real life decisions, like even financial decisions as part of like the way that we live our life and the ministry we have. And I know other people have to do the same thing,
Right.
Because you really can lose focus if you allow yourself to become a greedy person.
Mm-hmm.
And you can be greedy whether you have a lot or little. And that's something I've had to learn. But even Jesus here in Matthew chapter 19, he says, it's impossible for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven. It would be like a camel going through the eye of the needle. And some people read that and they've misunderstood this verse for so long. They said, well, this is a reason to never have anything. And this is like condemnation on somebody that has money. But he also said, not only is it impossible, but with man, there are things that are impossible, but with God, all things are possible. And there's an image here that he was giving when he said the camel going through the eye of a needle. Do you want to tell him about that?
You go ahead, because
Okay.
you're going to explain it pretty well.
Okay. No, you do a great job too. But yeah, so he was given the image here. The eye of the needle was an actual like gate. It was an actual place. And for a camel to get through the eye of the needle, the camel would have to get down on its knees and they would have to crawl through that way. And so that was the picture that Jesus was giving. He's saying it takes a point of surrender for someone who is wealthy and rich and has everything at their disposal. It takes a point, just like anyone else, a point of surrender to say, but I'm bowing all of these things and all of this wealth. I'm bowing this down to Jesus. And he said, so because of that, it is possible. And so whether you're rich or poor, you're on the same level playing ground, because we all, in a sense, have to bow our knee to him.
I think of Zacchaeus. That's in Luke chapter 19, but
Uh-huh.
I think of Zacchaeus and how when Jesus radically changed his life, one of the first things he did is he gave half of his possessions to the poor, to the needy. And that was the heart change he had. He went from taking and basically absorbing in all this wealth and doing whatever he wanted to giving. And, you know, God can use people who are in that position to help further his kingdom. It's not a wrong thing to have money. It's not wrong to have fun with your wealth, but it's also what we do with that to help further the kingdom and the good news, the good news that God's given us.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're right. For Zacchaeus, he really did what this was saying. He really did surrender and bow down and give himself up. And so he was like the camel going through the eye of the needle. What seemed impossible to everyone else became possible. So I don't know. I think that's really cool.